of giving jokes, suspension. Our second speaker, A.Cretella, will be doing number 7 from basic manual. The objectives from the manual is to collect information about his topic from various sources and carefully support his points with specific facts, examples gathered through speech. Andrew told me his personal goal would be to provide a comprehensive understanding and appreciation of introductions. The title of his speech is And Introducing Andrew A.Cretella.
I'm Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. What does it mean to be a Toastmaster? What does a Toastmaster do? The Toastmaster presides over the meeting and does a series of introductions. The Toastmaster is the master of ceremonies, but he must also be the master of introductions. So I decided to research the topic. I used books. These are some books from my library. I used the internet, and I used Toastmasters documentation. I discovered some interesting things. First of all, I discovered that for our purposes, there are basically 3 kinds of introductions. The first is what you might call the standard introduction. It's in all the books and even in some Toastmasters documentation. This is for introducing someone with achievements, with credentials. So you explain to the audience why this person is an expert in this field and what the audience will gain by listening. The second type of introduction is the contest introduction. In Toastmasters, when we have a speech contest, we must use the format, the name of the speaker, the title of the speech, the title again, and the name again. Nothing else is allowed, otherwise you might influence the judges. And this is specified every year in the contest rulebook. The third type is what you might call the basic Toastmasters introduction. Often it's something about the theme of the day, going over the objectives of the speech, the title of the speech, and naming the speaker. In some clubs, the club I was in New York, for instance, the Toastmaster might ask the evaluator to read the objectives because they're right there in front of them, and then the Toastmaster would give a brief introduction. Often it's a simple triad. Just a listing of 3 things about the speaker. Our next speaker is a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker. The title is My Life. Please join me in welcoming so-and-so. Of course, in a club like this, it's more like a professor, an author, a filmmaker. Now, I was confused when I came to this club and I found the contest introduction being used on a regular basis at regular meetings. So I posed the question. I polled Toastmasters officials on the East Coast and the West Coast at district and division levels, and I said, what's your experience in using the contest introduction at a regular meeting when there's no contest? Well, I got a variety of answers. One said it's never done. Several said, of course it's done, there's no problem with that. But a few questioned why it should be done, how it would serve the purpose. The common thread in all of them was that I got feedback from virtually everybody stressing the importance of learning to make good introductions and how important it is to our development as Toastmasters. So how do we make a good introduction? I believe the key to a good introduction is how you treat the speaker's name. Now I know that in many books, in almost all the books, and in some Toastmasters documentation, the speaker's name is mentioned many times in the course of the introduction. Now I have a problem with that. I don't care for that format for several reasons. First of all, if I were to say Doug Kinnear, at least some of the attention of the room is going to Doug Kinnear. Maybe all of it. I even saw some heads start to turn as I said that. And I'm still up here. So I don't really want the attention to start shifting too early. On top of that, when you mention someone's name, that's a signal, that's a trigger. Their head goes up, they're looking forward, and they're trying to figure, is this the moment I come forward? I have been in some meetings where some people start to get up and they sit back down. The name is mentioned again, they start to get up, and they sit back down. And they get up and down like a yo-yo, trying to figure out, when is this introduction over? When do I come up? I've even seen a situation where the Toastmaster says, no, I'm not ready yet. I'm not finished. And is this the kind of introduction that we as Toastmasters want to do? If you look at almost any award ceremony on television, any professional MC is going to say the name, and that will be the last thing they say. It's like a precious jewel. It's treated as something special, because it is. And when they reveal it at the end, they reveal it with some bravado, some drama, some pizzazz, something to build up the speaker and help that speaker emerge. When that speaker hears his name, whether he's coming from the audience or from behind the curtain, he emerges into the spotlight, seizes that spotlight, and there's spontaneous applause from the audience. Now, to me, that's a professional introduction, and something I think we should all aspire to. Now, some of you may be wondering, why have I brought up introductions several times over the past few years? Well, I believe that we define ourselves as Toastmasters by the quality of our introductions. Besides, we are not some small group of 20 people meeting in some small square room. We are Del Mar Toastmasters. We meet in this great hall where you can let your voice soar to the rafters. And shouldn't we let our introductions soar? Shouldn't we provide some build-up, some drama for our speakers? Well, I say, why not? Why not? Why should we not do our best? After all, are we not Del Mar Toastmasters?